What's up, guys? F-Focus, and welcome back to another video. Escape from Tarkov. This time, it's another discussion video, because I've had a couple people ask me, is it worth it? Should I buy it? I don't own it yet. It's in closed beta. Do I need to pre-order it? Yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to let everybody know. It's going to be a shorter video because if I make it long, I'm just going to ramble and ramble and ramble, and nobody wants to hear me ramble, even though I'm doing it right now. So basically, we're just going to talk about if I think that the game in its current state is worth it. And the current state is 0.8.2. And we will be talking about the older features, just how the game has come along in the active devs and stuff. But the current version is 0.8.2, and that's what we're going to be talking about. That's what this video is going to be based on. We're going to look to the future also, but I will let you know at the end of it what I think about the game and whether or not you should buy it. Alright, so jumping straight into the game, just talking about it, there are 4 different versions of the game you can buy, or I guess that you can categorize them as versions maybe. But you've got the most expensive, setting at $140 US dollars. That is the Edge of Darkness edition, and it's only a limited time, which means that when the game is released fully and hits its patch 1, I believe they're going to get rid of it. They may keep it a little bit longer, maybe until the next update, but it won't be here forever. So maybe you should pick that one up if you do care about the game and supporting the devs. The next most expensive version is the $100 version, and that is the Prepare for Escape edition. And then you have the $75 version, which is the Left Behind edition. And then you have the standard version, which is $45, and that is obviously, like I said, the standard edition. Now, once you look at all this, nothing matters. They all give you access to closed beta, which is what's going on right now, 0.8.2. The only thing that matters, don't even click on the icon. I'm going to link their website down below if you do want to pre-order it. But the only thing that matters, don't even click on that bonus equipment at start, including, there's a little link that you can click on, and it drops down that box, and it lets you know what each edition has. None of that matters. Everything you get in there does not matter. Nothing matters inside that bonus equipment. That's just in-game items, and it doesn't matter if you started with a hatchet or a knife or whatever. You can kill somebody who started with all that gear just as easy, okay, as somebody who also started with that gear. So everything you get inside the game doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that access to closed beta, which every version has, so it doesn't matter which version you get, and the stash size, the basic stash size, because once the game is released, however many updates that's going to be from now and however many updates after the release, they're going to add in certain questing and certain things you can do within the game to increase your stash size. So just because the basic stash is a 10 by 23 and the Edge of Darkness stash is a 10 by 63, right now, because there's no way to increase your stash except for buying a certain edition of the game, the Edge of Darkness is 100% more worth it than any other one. But the only reason the Edge of Darkness actually makes it worth it if you do care about Tarkov is you get access to DLC. It's a season pass. So that's the only thing that matters, and the bigger stash size. But like I said, once the game is released, you'll be able to increase your stash size later on. So don't even worry about that. Now, let's talk about what actually happens inside the game. The network, everybody always says the netcode issues. There's netcode issues. Their tick servers just aren't the best. And I won't lie, they don't have the best tick servers, which is fine. Not many people do have the best tick servers. I know Siege had that problem for the longest time. Siege had ping abusers. They had people from America go playing on, Russian servers or UK servers, and they had people vice versa from the UK playing on North American servers. So because your ping is so much higher, they have what's, the peeker's advantage, abuse. So they could peek the corner real quick and shoot you, and they would already be shooting at you before their head actually peeked on your screen, because on the way those tick servers work, if they make a move, since they're so laggy, the server tries to compensate for that lag, and it moves them first before the other person is updated. That's why technically in Siege, it's been fixed. They're trying to fix it, but the best strategy for Siege and Tarkov was to always be moving, especially if you were laggy like that. So if you peeked the corner first and you were moving, the person that was standing still stationary, their game updated secondary. But they're working on it. Their tick servers are still kind of shit right now, but they are working on it, so don't worry about that too much. The netcode video, everybody always says something about the netcode. If you've heard anything about the netcode, just pull it out of your brain and throw it away, because it's trash. Ignore the netcode videos. As far as all the content in-game, Tarkov, Battlestate, the developers are constantly adding in new features, new maps. They just added a new map this last patch in 0.8, interchange, and they've added in a bunch of new weapons. There's going to be a ton of guns by the time the game is released, and then so on and so forth even after the game is released. The devs are not going to stop with the content, okay? I stuttered right there for a second. The devs are not going to stop with the content. They're going to keep putting them out. Obviously, there's going to be DLC. It's going to be the only thing that's paid that you have to pay for. They're not going to do any microtransactions, so that's a plus if you're actually thinking about that, because a lot of people do. There's no microtransactions like Fortnite or PUBG, none of that bullshit, because Battlestate's actually they're courteous when it comes to their play base. What other things that can I talk about? Optimization is a big problem right now with Tarkov, but it is in closed beta. If you do pre-order it and they give you access to closed beta, you are a beta tester. So if you find any bugs or any issues in the game, you send them in to the devs and they fix them before release. That's the point of a beta tester. So if you do pre-order it, that's you don't, obviously nobody does that hardly ever, except for some of the big time YouTubers and then the big time streamers. They will talk to the devs and say, hey, you need to fix this. That was the whole issue with the strength. That needed to be fixed because it was kind of bugged. Really, the optimization is the only downside for me. The netcode is bullshit, doesn't exist. The whole peak advantage, the ping abusers and stuff, they're going to be in every game until they fix their servers. But a lot of companies, especially like Battlestate, they're not very big, so they can't afford those heavy tick servers. And like I said, the optimization is the only downside. They're trying to add in anti-aliasing and stuff. They've actually added it in. But the post processing and stuff, it's just not technically working, because I have a really nice setup, and then whenever I activate mine, the game just kind of tanks. The FPS is already, I get 60 frames, but nothing more usually, unless it's at a good time, and usually they tank down pretty low. And I can run any game I own on like 144 frames. I get 144 frames a second. So Tarkov itself in the optimization field is really lacking, and I do hope that they fix that soon before release, so they can, you know, kind of iron out all the kinks at release. But we're getting close to the end of release and still have some optimization issues. So if you do have a slower computer, the biggest thing right now in Tarkov is RAM. If you don't have much RAM, then your game will run significantly worse than somebody who has, let's say, 16 gigs is plenty. 8 gigs will run it, but like 4 gigs, you're gonna have some issues. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you have, you know, adequate amount of RAM to actually run the game. But like I said, that's the only issue that I can say, optimization. But I'm rambling now, so let's get on with it. Content's great. Optimization sucks. Netcode isn't real. And ping. Everyone's going to have the ping issues. Do I think it's worth it? I hope you came into this video open-minded, and I hope that you have ripped out everything of the negativity and even the positive that you've seen in other videos. I think the game is worth it. I think that the Edge of Darkness edition is not worth it unless you want that DLC. Everything else you get inside the Edge of Darkness is 100% worthless. The little special icon on your name is worthless unless you, like I said, you want to support the devs. That's about it. The only thing that really matters is the stash size, but you can increase that. Just guaranteed access to beta and just access to play the game so you can get that upper hand before the game is released. I'm rambling, so it's worth it. Buy it. Buy the standard edition at least. Don't buy anything bigger. Just buy the standard edition. That's all you need, man. But if you want to throw in the extra money, then do it. Let's end it there before I keep on going. Hit that like button, subscribe, share if you want to, and as always, enjoy.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean and no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers.